Okay, so this is another uh, story that makes me very, very happy to see this being discussed. Um, so, Chrono Trigger, very, very well loved uh, Super Nintendo RPG, came out in 1995, pretty much right at the end of the Super Nintendo's lifespan. Um, the director, his name is Takashi Tokita, said he'd like to see Square Enix bring the RPG back in some form. Um, Now, his quote in it directly was, "It's probably considered sacred since the companies merged." And what he means by that, by the way, Square Enix used to be simply known as Squaresoft. And then I want to say in the early 2000s, they merged with their rival RPG developer in Japan, Enix, or Enix. I'm going to go with Enix. Um, they merged together, but before that, Chrono Trigger was kind of it was almost co-developed with Enix. The You might be looking at, if you take a look at the Chrono Trigger art, there's one thing it should remind you of, and that is Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Warrior slash Dragon Quest, which was Enix's famous RPG series. So it really was this combination of these two video game companies, putting their best efforts forward because it has a lot of Final Fantasy elements in it, and it's just an amazing game. It's definitely one of my favorite RPGs of all time. I'd probably put it as number two in my if I had to list my RPG ranks. So he goes on to say, "It was essentially a dream mix between Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Creating or exceeding what it was in its original form is a very difficult feat." Um, Now he gets questioned about this further. Um, he even mentions that, and I didn't even realize this. Tetsuya Nomura is the um, character artist for Final Fantasy VII, and I want to say he directed Advent Children. He is also the director, event planner for all the Kingdom Hearts game. Like Kingdom Hearts is his baby pretty much. Um,
Needs to take better care of it.
they're working on it. They're bringing it back. Um, but he even said that Nomura created a lot of the environment background pieces in Chrono Trigger, including the courthouse scene, which, if you played the game, you know how gorgeous that background looks on Super Nintendo. It's absolutely stunning. It's doing lighting effects that you wouldn't think would work in a 16-bit environment, but it does. Um, and he added that Tokita added that he'd like to see a high quality, high end version of Chrono Trigger, a movie production or something of the sort. Now, Chrono Trigger has been released several times. Um, it was released, I want to say, either 99 or 2000 on the PlayStation. It's been ported to the DS. You can get it on iOS and Android, although I haven't played those versions. Um, but I've actually purchased the game quite a few times, um, and I love it so much. This would be one of those dream projects for me that I would just love to see become a reality. Um, you ever play Chrono Trigger?
I haven't. Um, I have heard a lot of great things about it, and the only reason that I haven't played it is because the game came out before I was born. A year before I was born. But one of my friends back in college said that it was a great game, and if I ever wanted to, I could, you know, um, what's it called? The thing where you get a game not the right way.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. Not the right way.
Yeah. Um, But a game like this, I feel like I would wanna, I would wanna buy it. I generally don't do that a whole lot with games, mainly because I want to give credit where credit's due, and like people should be paid for their works. The same way how I feel about music. I always pay for that
Hmm.
because they work hard for it, for your entertainment. So I feel like games should be treated the same way. So I feel like if there was a remake and it was put out, maybe for next gen consoles, um, I would definitely love to play it. Um,
And funny story, I'll go ahead and admit that I did play the game first time through not the right way. And but that actually got me to be a fan of it. And then when they released the PlayStation version, I went out and bought the PlayStation version. And then later on, when I was collecting for the DS, uh, picked that up for the DS too. Um, so yeah, I love the game. I think it's great. If you haven't played it, go play it. You can. I mean, I'm sure it runs fine uh, on mobile devices, and although Square does tend to ask a little bit too much for their games on mobile.
I don't know about a movie though.
Yeah, the movie. Let's stick with the high end remake.
Yeah.
Let's keep it locked down to that.